Guys? Uh-oh, I've got the TV on. Sorry about that, kids. I thought I was getting feedback. It was my Apple TV. What is up, everybody? Look at everybody in here early. What is going on? Brandon Sutton, Crispy Critter channel member, Drinkwater channel member. Welcome, guys. Demonoc channel member, Neil McKenzie channel member, Pizza Operator channel member. We got Jeffrey Dawson. We got Lord Needham. We got Demonoc. We got Broke Ass Knives. We got Lord Needham again because I'm reading twice. Pizza Operator channel member. What is up? Joseph S. Be up, my brother. David Helka. Welcome. Joe Isabella channel member. Jim Miller. What is up? Channel member. Yeah, hopefully Pocket Metal will be able to bounce in. He is doing deadlines. He has been the last couple of weeks. I guess you guys know Brother Pocket Metal is a graphic designer, artist, and works with a lot of big companies. So he asked if I'd jump in here, and I've told him I would be more than happy to hang out with you guys. And we can talk about slip joints. We can talk about modern folders. I've had a couple of cool things come in. I've got a really cool fixed blade. So yeah, the gamut's wide open. I might not have the answers, but we can sure look at it and Google it together. And I had a bunch of links pulled up, and then my camera crashed. Not that I was gonna. Let me just pull them back up in case we want to go look at some stuff. But how's everybody been doing? It is Monday, and it is just now starting. I'm gonna be 100% honest. I love hanging with you guys on Monday night. B Shady, what's up? Pedro, channel member, what is up, my man? Jeffrey Dawson. But Monday nights, to me, first of all, I'm one of those that gets the Sunday vlogs on Sunday. So Sunday, I'll start hard bumming about Monday. So I rob myself of the joy of Sunday because I'm worried about Monday half of the day. So got through Monday. Hopefully this week I've got several major projects that I've got to get done tomorrow and the next day, but I'll persevere. I'll get through it. And no matter what happens, sharp guy, good, bad, or indifferent, Friday night, it'll be over for 2 days and we will all be hanging and chilling. I love Friday nights. And I've actually been able to stay up for said faction. What's up, Craig Wilkes? I've been able to stay awake. I have been guilty of saying hey early and then creeping. I don't know if y'all ever do that. Ed Harrison, what is up? Lurking. I'll do the same thing. That's what I was just getting ready to say, Ed. So I'm going to put you on the screen, not to put you in the hot seat just because you're a reputable individual. But during said faction, it's not uncommon for me to be so tired after saying hey to as few or many as I can, just to lay back and listen and just read what y'all say to each other. And I just feel like I'm hanging out, even though, laying back. And sometimes you just got to lay back till I can get voice to text or find a way to merge Clubhouse's audio interface into live streams. Man, that'd be hard to do. We'd have to be some hand raising fools. But I'm glad to see all you guys. I'm trying to think what has changed. Something kind of cool happened. I put have I shown you guys my shed knife skirt that used to have day glow yellow handles? Let me take it out of this sheet. It's got great retention, by the way. This little hefty pup, it has day glow yellow G10 scales too, for if I'm going to take it out, in the forest and I'm worried about dropping it and losing it. But this little beast, I got some black G10 scales for $18 from Shed Knives. All this stuff USA made. 54. This guy is just a little chip. And it's refined like a Grand Gripper. It's a totally different purpose knife. To me, it's just one of those things that if I want to go jam it in stumps, or if I want to go jam it in the side of a tree, or use it as I shouldn't as a pry bar, or go out and just chop on something, or go out and put tent stakes in the ground. It's just cool. And I like it better with my black scales. And it actually, even though the Kydex kind of locks in right here, look how beefy this is. And this knife weighs, I could weigh it. I want to say it's between 9 and 10 ounces. Let's just look. Let's look and I'll share. To sharing's carry. Beeper Baron, what is going on, my man? I have no affiliation with these guys. I just met Jack, the young man who's the CEO and president of it, who's been making knives since he was a kid. And he does it up in Delaware. Real simple knives, but this guy weighs spine thickness 3/16. Wait a minute. Guys, I'm gonna have to get my scale. All right, that was a waste of our time. Give me 2 seconds while I spin this around. I'm going to turn this on and set it over here, and I'll tell you how much it weighs. .55 ounces in the sheath. .3 ounces, just the nast. But when I saw this at Blade Show, I had so much fun with it, just playing with their knives. So you guys, we need to talk about the Spyderco sale. It's insane. I was watching Nerdy Knives. I can't remember his first name, but I watch it from time to time. He goes live Monday nights after Ray. And have y'all seen the deal at Smoky Mountain Knives for the M4 Para 2 in carbon fiber or Mars carbon fiber for $138? Now, I am not in the market for another Spyderco right now. But if you're not aware of it, because I'm not sure, but I would think that Smoky Mountain Knives would probably oversell. So it's still showing in stock. This is a Spyderco Paramilitary 2 in M4, I think. Hold on, let's find out the steel. Guys, am I losing my mind? I know I saw it before. Yeah, CPM M4. My bad, guys. So yeah, they've got, what's up, Bama Ninja Timmy, Lord Needham? But I think everywhere, every one of our retailing buddies have different Spydercos on sale for some reason. I don't know if they're moving them out, but I think each place is going to have kind of a unique steel maybe. I don't know if it's just going to be ordered the 90V PM2. Where'd you find it? Where'd you find it, Emo? Because the S90V, I'll tell you all guys, I'm not very much a steel guy, but just from my experience, which are, just cutting basic stuff, I think S90V is as good as any I enjoy, from being able to maintain it to not having, and I don't hard use stuff, but it's just been a great steel. And that PM2, although I've got 3 PM2s in 3 different blade shapes. So not being a steel guy and having all kinds of different knives, I was surprised. This is S30V. I don't know, because I think Blade HQ had the exclusive on the Tanto. I could be wrong, but I thought that there were different blade steels, and this one's SV. I bought it from Brother Keith, the knife rake, and this is my first Spyderco that cost me over $100. It was $168 when I bought it at St. Nick's Knives 2.5 years ago. It's the Blurple PM2 S110V, and it has been great for what I use a Para 2 for, which is very little except cutting boxes and paper. And then thanks to my brother from another mother, Justin at OCD for EDC, he and I worked out a trade for this knife that is special to me in a lot of different ways. For one, it's the Warney. It's in CTS XHP. It was one of the Cutlery Shop exclusives. And he traded it for a knife that I had, a CLXR, that he played with last year at Blade Show and really liked. And then I put these rock scale design scales on it. But what's really cool about it is it came from Justin, and he's my brother, but it's also one of his club knives. So it's got his special club number on it. But those are the 3 Para 2s I have, so I really can't justify in the way I'm trying to mature as a knife hoarder. Give her out, or I give them away too. I pay them forward. But yeah, the way I think about it is I don't need another Para 2. As much fun as they are to mod, Para 2s, Manics, Jimbos, Shamans, Spydercos are fun to mod. I feel like every time, even when I picked up this little guy, an S45, this little breast cancer special edition, had some of the prettiest, nicest G10 on it in pink, and I wasn't gonna upgrade it. And then I saw these Rips Garage Tech kind of denim micarta, which kind of reminded me of my old Penguin, and I had to buy them and I had to mod it, even though the pink ones are in the box. But finding the box in my closet would be a nightmare. But I love Spydercos. Besides the fact that they do their heat treats, I will agree with that part of everything Shane was saying last night. Spyderco does heat treats great. Awesome little knife, S45. I just don't need another Para 2. If any of y'all need, and I think they might only be the exactly, Lord Needham. I think that's it. You're a little dyslexic, but you've got all the digits. But yeah, if you're interested, and if there's a PM2 that you've been looking for, I think primarily the domestically made ones, check out all the local places that you've ever gotten one, and chances are, let's see if Cutlery Shop's got anything crazy. I didn't even think about them. I guess you guys can hear me okay, I hope. And if the music's too loud, tell me, because I can barely hear it. That's expensive. I'm not going to take you over here unless I see something that makes me think it's worth. Yeah, I don't think it's just Smoky Mountain knives because I know I'm not even going to go to the place that sounds like Blade 8 Screw, but it's not. But they've got a little page dedicated to their Spyderco sale, and nothing there blew me away as much as the Mars Carbon Fiber Smoky Mountain knives M4. And I get, again, guys, I don't know. I guess M4 is a good outdoor steel. Is it a good? I mean, I'm not educated on blade steels like I should be. Now I could go to Larry's chart or Blade 8 Screws chart and look at that, but that doesn't tell me as much as you guys who've actually used it. This thing's got 42 reviews, 5 stars. I mean, to me, just knowing how much paramilitary twos have been, that looks like a very good deal. $35 sizzle. But you guys have to decide if M4 and Spyderco is worth that right now. Twang Thang, mine shipped today. How is it? It is a smaller knife, and I promise you, because I was used to my gripper, which is too big of a knife. You're gonna love the gripper V2, by the way. But I am so stoked. I shot a video tonight that's gonna launch tomorrow. That's my Tonto collection, and it's very, as far as my knife collection, it's the most underrepresented because I don't have a lot of Tonto blades. But this is one that I got in last week that I'm in love with, and it made me make the video with my other Tontos, and they're all different. They all have different geometries. They all have different, they're just, you know, I think it's a cool, I'm appreciating it as a blade style more now than I ever did. And this little Roning's sweet. Native 5 and S1T for 110. Let me, Aaron V, they wouldn't tell you where? That's cold because I've heard about that. And somebody, what is it, Todd's Nerdy Knives? Who's the guy I'm trying to think of? Because he was giving great advice. He may still be live, but he was telling where, you know, he was wishing that in his last mod, which is a Mannix, that he'd gotten the lightweight because he would have saved like $30. And with the skinny scales that Rock Scale Design has, you can mod a lightweight. So which one, Aaron, were you looking for? The Native 5 and S1T? How much they say? 110? I see it for 148, but let's see if we can find it cheaper than that. Nope, more expensive at Knife Center. Blade 8 Screws got it for 149. Yeah, I don't. Let's see if DLT 170. Yikes. Knife ship free. Maybe it was Chicago Knife Works or one of those places. 119. It's out of stock though. Knife ship free had it for 119. Knife Works has it for 170. No surprise there. I bet you we could find it out there, but finding it in stock, depending on how, let's see what Knife Joker's got. 136. Knife Joker has it for 136, so that's the least expensive I've seen it so far. Cutlery Shop has it for 122 and is in stock. So guys, I'm sorry I went down this rabbit hole, but I saw Aaron B. We didn't find 110, but cutlery shop, if this is what you're talking about, that's the lockback. Has it for 122. And then before that, we haven't looked at River's Edge Cutlery yet. Nope, they're 136. Before that, the Knife Joker had it for 136. Cutlery shop still being the cheapest. National Knives. Sometimes these little stores, I found my Malibu at Northern Knives, the place that they were in Alaska. It shipped. I got it the next day. It was amazing. That's expensive, $215. But yeah, I don't see any super secret places. We'll look at Chicago Knife Works. And then I'm coming back to the chat and I'm getting out of the rabbit hole. Nope, they don't have it cheap. They're 170. So our best was Cutlery Shop, Aaron, at 122. Dean, he showed me a picture today of my my tripper shipping, or mine and a bunch of other people's packages shipping. Let's see if I can find it. I'm so jazzed. Those are not coming to me. Just one of them is. Les Gilbert. I shouldn't read out. Alonzo. I won't read everybody's name. Chris and John. Who's me? You can check my address so I don't get paranoid. Sorry, guys. Nice. Yes, I'm very excited to have another little Tonto, to have the tripper, and it's been a long time. I didn't have it that long when Jason first sent it by to me for me to try it out. Bearded Doom had wanted it, and he'd been on vacation when I got it, and I didn't want to keep it for that long, so I only kept it for about 2 or 3 days. So I didn't get to carry it. I did get to cut with it, some paper, like is mostly what I cut, and I got to sit on the couch, do a couple of lives, and really flip it. Just not stainless, huh, Jeffrey? See, that's something that in my slip joints, I've been leaning towards the tool steels more so than the stainless. And again, I'll use either a Wicked Wax, or there's this stuff that I get at Smoky Mountain Knife Works called Coons Oil. Chef Rocky, what's up, brother? How are you, my man? It's called Rob's Coon Oil, and I get a little jar, a little squeeze bottle of it about that big. It lasts forever, and it's great for just keeping on a 12 gauge pew cleaning pad that's kind of soaked in oil, and just keeping your blade wiped up with it. What's up, Brian F? How are you, my man? I didn't even think about looking there. 158, and then you can take 10% off that using anybody's code. Where are you going, Tip? Ugh. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know if y'all saw the cat just come hurling at the camera. Let's see what's going on. What I was going to show you guys, and again, the only reason I like to show things that I think are cool is they're things that I bought because they're good deals. At least in my mind they were. These are knives I personally chased for quite a while. And this is one of them right here. And it's back in stock. And again, 2 months ago, I would have had no interest in this knife. You could have shown me this knife and I'd been like, no, thanks. But that is an M390, the TS90. It's a titanium, cool sheep's foot slip joint. And I've got it right here. So I'll stop sharing. But it is Great sounds. Got a really strong spring. Got good ergos. Got a little lanyard tube there at the end. It's got milling in the titanium. And it was $80 before I got before I put in my 10% Javon 10 code. It's got a nice little sharpening choil at the back. And I want to say that Maker's Mark is, let's see. It doesn't tell us. I don't know if it's Mozart. It's a night morning design. I'm sorry. So it is a night morning design. It is in stock now. I was looking for one on eBay and they were selling for about $110. So this one being $89, $90, less 10%, if you're into that kind of thing. I was excited to find it. So I grabbed it, and there was one other one I grabbed, or one other Tucson that was too good to pass up. I know a lot of people don't like Tucsons, and I'm sorry. I just show them because, like, my first little fixed blade that got me into the whole EDC fixed blade thing was Tucson, and they are just great values for trying out new stuff, and that's what I've been doing with SlipJoints. And the Smoky Mountain Knives exclusive ones have come down to like $74. They've got more in stock. Nope. I only have 4 in stock. Okay. So this is what I was going to show you guys. They've got this one in stock. Believe it or not, it is a Tucson model TS123. It's $89 too. It's got 8 5-star reviews. But let me show it to you in real life and just tell you what I hate about it, which is a strong word, and what I marvel about by it. It's this little knife right here. What I don't like about it is I'm one that thinks slip joints don't need a pocket clip. However, it fits in the slip fine with the pocket clip, and I can also wear it like a regular knife with a pocket clip. You would think you could take the screw off and flush it down, which was my first thought, but you can't. But the good thing about this knife is it's a little heavier. We can weigh it if you want, but it is titanium and copper. And I don't know if you guys can see the milling, but the milling is all, I don't think it's going to get it, is it? The milling is all one pattern, and you cannot feel any displacement between the copper and the titanium liner. Got an M390 blade, really strong pull with a full half stop. So my only point is, if you're like modern slip joints and you're interested in a really good price on a Tucson for $90, less 10%, puts it about $82 because I don't think they charge shipping. And then the other one they have in stock, I wouldn't recommend unless you're looking for a really big slip joint. This is my biggest slip joint that I have, and it is also in stock. It's about $48. And I've got to tell you, there are good things about it too, and I'll point those out. Let me show it to you first. I don't know what number or letter it is. It is the 14C28N TS192. It's $59.99. And micarta before you put the discount in. And then what I had to get, just so you guys know, is I got a hide and drink Knipex sheet, like I carry my little Knipex in, to carry my Tucson in as a slip. But this is a beefy slip joint that has a very strong spring. It's put together very well, has no blade walk whatsoever. It's got a tall, flat grind. It's a delightful knife to cut with. But it is very slicing. But it is big, right? So it's not the kind of slip joint that I put in my left pocket, which I've got one in my left pocket now, and we'll look at do our pocket checks here in a sec. But those are the ones that are back in stock. That one thing I love about White Mountain Knives, besides I've always bought my knives there because that's where I get a discount, is, and I've told Justin it's the same thing that really bothers me about it, is when you go look at the new knives, you see his new knives that he's bringing in, which is awesome. He's always bringing in new inventory, but what you don't see, or what I don't see, are the restocked items. So for example, when I want to go check and see if the Tucson TS150 is back in stock, or if I want to see if they've gotten any new flippers in stock, if I want to check that out, I have to go look by brand, which is fine. I mean, it's definitely worth it. But to me, it's worth taking a little time if you're looking for something and hunt it. The best way to do it is just search for it. Even if it wasn't there yesterday. I've been there before and there wasn't a knife there. And it was the TS150 because I was trying to help somebody find one. And the TS150, I don't know if I've got it here. I think I might. Yeah, dude. It's this one right here. It's the one that I got before I got a Chickadee. It convinced me that I would carry a small EDC fixed blade. This is S90V, G10, and Kydex, and it was $48. They make it in black, they make it in orange, and they make it in a stag handle with a Damascus, and they make it, I mean, I'm sure it's fine, and then they make it in like a white bone with a Damascus, which again, but these are currently sold out. But what you can do is you can drop your email address in there, and you will get an email when they come back in stock. And usually he buys 10 of them. So when they come in stock, and I've seen them come back in stock since I got this one, probably 7 times, and help people get them. So if y'all shoot me a DM or shoot me an email at kniveslive2021@gmail.com, if this is one of the Tucsons you're looking for, because there are also about 3 other Tucsons. A couple of them I'm going to put in giveaways, but the M390, the TS247, I recommend even higher than this one. I like this one because it's very chickadee, if that's even a word. But the M390, which I don't have back here, is really probably my favorite Tucson. But none of them are going to measure up to a 64 HRC handmade Chickadee because it's a production knife. But it's a huge price difference, right? So I can get a Chickadee for a couple of $100, or I can buy a S90V for $49. So it's a great win. If you're asking me, Mimo, for PM2s, that's a tough one. For Mannix, 100% rock scale designs. Original Goat is my favorite for Demco. I've got no Spydercos with their scales, but I saw them in at Blade Show, and they're doing some super cool stuff. This is a Shaman, but this is also, these scales are also made for the PM2. These are Rips Garage Tech, no, Sharp Dress knives, carbon fiber. They're contoured. These are the again, the Shaman. The best. For me, for the Sage 5, the rock scale design, the reason I fell in love with these scales is they're linerless. So I was able to lose the little jagged liner. So it makes it much more of an EDC type of knife now for me because it doesn't have that liner, really smooth, goes in and out of pocket great. That's called the graphite, and this is the raw, which is just the natural titanium color from Rock Scale Design. But Original Goat does a fantastic job too. And to echo what Jeffrey's saying, the AWT, I've not tried them on a Spyderco, but I tried them on a much trickier knife, the Benchmade Adamas, and they've made a world of difference on this knife. And this knife's much trickier, in my opinion, than rescaling a Spyderco. So I would have no problem, because I've used them for other knives, I would have no problem saying Applied Weapons Technology is great. I think Original Goat is great because I know they do serious R&D. When they first released the Hogue Decas, I had a couple of version 1 Hogue Decas. To me at the time, it was one of the best value knives that I had because it was, is it 20 CV? Mine wasn't MagnaCut yet. I don't remember if it was 20 CV or S30V, but this knife had FRN or G10 scales, black G10 scales. And I picked it up at Smoky Mountain Knife Works before Christmas, before maybe Black Friday a couple of years ago with the black G10. And it was $118. Each of them were $118. Made in America. Remember, if they're 20 CV, I want to say they are. Yeah, CPM 20 CV. So they were a great deal on the knife. So I told or asked Marty, I said, well, you guys have done the version 1. Have you thought about, or you've done the version 2, have you thought about doing the version 1? And he said, no, well, it's really just 3 additional screws or 2 additional screws. And I said, well, I've got 2 knives. I'll be happy to send you. I've got a Warncliffe and I've got a G10 drop point, and you're welcome to have them as long as you need them. And they did R&D on them for 1 year, from blade show to blade show. And I told them it was fine to keep it that long because I wasn't carrying the knife at the time, and I wanted to get a set once they got them made. Yeah, they are so good. They are so good. And if you ever get one where the Kydex, because my Kydex locks in super solid, but if you ever get one that's loose, or if you ever get a Kydex sheet that's loose, you can use heat to tighten that bad boy up. A lot of times you can use the screws on it to tighten it up. So let me show you what I carried, and then we'll find out what you guys carry today. I carried in my right pocket the Ronin, and in my left pocket I carried a newer Viper knives. What is that, Mark H? I carried the Viper knives Hug, and that's the little micarta M390 modern slip joint with the micarta handle. Titanium bolsters, titanium frame. It's got a really heavy pull, really heavy close, but it's very thin, very slicey, doesn't weigh a lot. And so that is what I carried in my left pocket. And I would say I carried this on my belt, but I didn't. I didn't carry a fixed blade today. But would you guys take your time and put your carries up there, and I will try to read everybody's out. What is up, Mark H? My man. B Shady, it's so good. And I'll be honest with you, the MagnaCut Chickadee is only that much better because brother from another mother, Kyle Coonley, put an edge on it. It's a 3/4 flat grind where my S90V is a full flat, and the S90V is awesome. Jim Miller carried. Why didn't it just change it? It's supposed to make it up there. Okay, the Kaiser Keybold 2, the Tempest Microburst, the CRKT Spew, and the SOG Power Pint. I've been looking at those Power Pints. I use my Skeletal, and I think right now it does what I need it to do. We're getting the Carter Shaman aluminum magnets, carbon fiber, and you're just talking to me, Mo, about your collection. That is sweet. Yeah, my Yojimbo scales, and I'll go back to that, but they look the nicest, but they're the hardest for me to handle because they're slick. They don't have a lot of texture to them. Aaron B carried the Desert Ironwood Mamba. Oh, that's a beautiful knife. 15B Shaman with RC Bladeworks Mexican blanket micarta scales. Very nice. And the DLT exclusive black purple crewwear Yojimbo. Hashtag winning, Aaron B. That is awesome, buddy. Nice carry. Blade over, carried the Shed Freedom Collection and Buck 110 Sport and S30B. Very nice. Very nice. And then the Pyrite Titanium was carried by Dean Griffin. I got the, I don't know if y'all saw my Pyrite Titanium video, but I got the kind of the scam one. I want a scam one. I got the V1 from Atlantic Knife, and they didn't tell me it was V1. And they never to this day have replied to my email saying that I needed to make a video to review it because people that watch the channel might want to know what I thought about it. And I was calling it a titanium knife, and I just wanted to know if it was titanium. So I took the scales off, and I found out, or the skins, they weren't scales. The one I had skins on it, little skins, but they weren't. They were not magnetic. So they were titanium, but it was very janky. Mimo carried the Endura British Racing Green ZDP 189. I've got that. I've got the Dragonfly in the British Racing Green ZDP 189. I love that knife. And then Fitabit carried the Sandris Knives Monza. Very nice. Ghost Keeper carried the Kubi Tiger Stripe Hideous 14C and Titanium CJRB Echo. Both super nice knives. When I saw they did that Kubi in that Tiger Stripe Titanium, it has been real hard for me not to go back and grab that. I had the G10, loved it. I gifted it forward. Hey, we've got a guest here. Look who's here to join us. The man, the myth, the legend himself.
Howdy.
How are you, buddy? Am I too loud?
No, you're fine. Am I too quiet? I have it turned down some, or my speaker thing.
Well, I've got my monitors now, so I didn't know if you were getting ready to Metal Monday it out.
Oh, no.
How have you been, man? Are you getting caught up?
No, not at all.
I'm going to be overwhelmed. I was today, tomorrow, part of the day Wednesday, through Friday. If I can make it through this week and not lose my job and not lose my mind, I'll be in a good place come Friday night.
Don't worry, Dopey. You don't have to leave. I'm not going to be on for long.
No, you are going to be on, hopefully. And
Oh, man, I had so much stuff. I worked all weekend. I stopped. I was working on Saturday till Big Red came on, and I decided to stop, and then we ate dinner.
Well, you've got to take, even if it's just little breaks, the way I sleep at night, which is little naps, you've got to take little breaks for you. You can't just work yourself. What's Jack Nicholson say? All work, no plays makes Jack a dull boy.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely been losing my shit, that's for sure, but...
Well, dude, just do the best you can do and try to find, and I know it sounds stupid for me to say this, but try to find the joy in what you do because you're an artist, man. I mean, I would love that. I would love to not have to deal with people, and I know you deal with people too,
Yeah,
but not have
it's
to deal with the
it's
psychology and the politics of a corporation when you can just make
well, I mean,
pure art.
I'm working for corporations, so while I don't have to be there, it's still stupid shit where like, oh hey, we forgot we have a big thing coming up and we need something done like tomorrow, and they don't care how long it takes, and then I stay up till like 7 o'clock in the morning, over the night working on stuff like that, and it's fucking ridiculous. So,
And
uh,
you want to say bad planning on your part does not constitute an emergency on my part, but we can't say that. Thank you, Mayor Salt.
no, not at all.
It's just, but I still, you want the corporation because you want the revenue stream, right? And unfortunately, in my
Yeah.
experience, the bigger the company is, the less they feel maybe like they have to plan. They seem, at least in my business, which is digital marketing, they seem to almost throw their weight around because they know that they have a lot of influence. So they know we'll jump through bigger hoops or try to.
It goes both ways. Like there's stuff that's like they have planned out like next year, which is helpful, and then there's stuff that just like, oh, one of those, like, because it's a company that has branch off companies, and then so like maybe they need something, so so that's just the way it is. It's boring, whatever, fucking
But it
shit.
sounds
But
like
it's
a
just not
client
been.
that you've had for a while that you know the ins and outs of them.
It's sometimes. I mean, I've been working with them for a while, but it's you know it is what it is. But it's not. It's funner to get to do other types of shit that's not this. Sometimes it's okay, but I like designing sunscreen bottles or soccer jerseys or
It's not a passion. It's not a passion
those.
play.
Yeah, those can be boring as fuck sometimes. You
Do
try
you
to make it as
enjoy the
fun as you
work you
can.
do with like traditional pocket knives when you do knife
Yeah,
related stuff, or is that
yeah.
still work and laborious?
I mean, you're still having to, in some instances, trying to make the best out of someone's idea. That's always the case. Like, you have to be able to design freaking anything that someone, whether
If
that's
their
you.
brain can.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just because that's like when you're working for that, like you can turn down jobs obviously, but like I said before, after fucking COVID, the last thing I would ever do is at this
Turn down
point,
a job.
not for the most part. Like I'm pretty busy now, so I have to turn down like stuff that people have asked me to do in the community and stuff, just because I am so swamped. But as far as like if it was like some crazy company again, then yeah, I might have to just
Stay up for 3 days.
basically.
Yeah, I
Got to
know
pay the
what it's
bills.
like.
So
It's definitely can suck the joy out of it for sure.
yeah, even today it's just like fixing colors and stuff on things because the color profile doesn't look right on web, versus the way I'm designing it. Like once they get it online, it's like, oh, the color is off by a little bit, and it's just like, oh, Jesus Christ, just little
And it
things
could
like
be
that.
their monitor, couldn't it?
What's that?
Couldn't it be their monitor that makes?
Well, yeah. So you have to. I mean, that's the thing. Like, and that's that with designing everything these days. It's like I'm working on a Mac, and then sometimes I'll look at it on the old PC, or I'll look at it on my other Mac, and then everything's got a different color profile, different monitor. You look at it on your phone, and to try to get as close to shit as possible. But when it's a thing that they're very particular on their colors, then it's
Yeah, when you're dealing with brand guidelines, they've got to be just right.
So fun stuff.
Well, how's the family doing? Is everybody hanging in there with you, supporting you?
Yeah, my one cat is you can't see in this other chair. next to this bag of stuff here is my one little cat. He's been hanging out with me while I work, and just chilling over here. If I have like, I'll throw like this is a bag of just a bunch of knives and shit. If I have a bunch of other stuff there, then he'll sit in my lap until I make space for him in this chair. And sometimes he tries to like sit right on my desk, and I have to tell him like, no, you can't climb
He's
up on my
wanting you to clear
keyboard.
his space out.
He wants to get right in there and work with me, or he'll try to sit on my lap, and I can't freaking
You can't
work.
get done.
No, because I like to scoot up as awkwardly close, even though the screen's big. But I get up in there.
Right here. She finally went on the seat. She was jumping around here earlier, and you could tell she was not at ease, and now she's finally crashed out.
Yeah. But yeah, the little buddies. And the other day, both the kitties were sitting up in here with me. And yeah, I had the prairie dogs earlier today, was cuddling them for a little bit. After they ate some food, they came out for a little cuddle with me session while I was sitting here working. Kind of helped me not feel like I'm going insane.
They're probably great for that. I don't know, at first it was just being suggested to me in my feed, and I followed the one prairie dog, and now I've got several more that have been suggested for me, and I think I follow a couple of other prairie dogs.
Yeah.
The one that was on the picture today is not the same prairie dog that does the thing stretch every morning.
Yeah, Poppy.
But they make me smile. By following them, it's just something that I enjoy seeing that in my feed.
There's only been one thing that we started following, and I can't remember the name of it, but we stopped because they were just letting their little prairie dog get into situations that looked harmful as shit for the animal. It may look cute, or but if you like, they were letting the prairie dog like hang out the side of the car door like a dog likes to do. Sounds really cute, but prairie dogs can't tell how high they are because they have like no depth perception whatsoever, and sometimes they'll just fucking go for it. And that's why I said, like, when the girls, when our other prairie dog Stella would be out running around the house, we had to take and get like cushions and pillows put around the couches, around the bed, because she would just jump off of it. And it's wood floors. Well, a wood floor, like a 3-foot drop, that could kill her if she hit wrong.
Yeah.
But a car at top speed, if that animal sees something or gets scared, which they do, if a dog barked, she might, that little guy might lose his shit and jump out a window or something.
Yeah, no doubt. I haven't seen that, but I have seen them engorging themselves, 2 prairie dogs in their bags of hay. Like each had a bag of hay and their little butts were hanging out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was just set up for a picture.
Well, the thing is, it's hay. They're like cows, not in that they're supposed to be grazing all day long. How much of that they don't eat like the whole strand of hay. There's little bits in there that they like. So you'll see them like when they hold it, they'll like move it around and fiddle with it. They're not eating a whole lot. So they actually are supposed to be grazing like continuously all day long. Now, when you see them eating things like sweet fruits and shit, they're not really supposed to have a lot of that because that's something that isn't in their natural environment. Like you don't find, peaches on the prairie. You know what I mean? Like that's just not something that they should be eating. If you gave them like a small little like bitty piece of it, that's one thing. But a lot of times you see people letting them eat like junk food, and it's cute or whatever, but at the same time it's terrible, not good for them, because they can, if you feed them right and take care of them and shit, they can live like up to like almost 15 years.
And they're such awesome little animals. Give them what's right. I mean, are they supposed to just eat that roughage stuff, or do you mix in peanuts or things?
No peanuts. No. Just mainly hay, and then there is a type of little pellet that we get that's made up of alfalfa hay and then it has some other like little vitamins and stuff, and so they get a little bit of that. But yeah, they shouldn't eat anything that can give them gas, because like a horse, they're not supposed to have gas. So like no broccoli, no I forget what the hell else, but there's lots of vegetables that they shouldn't go near.
And that's why they have little just pellet poops, because of what they're cycling through their body.
Yeah, they're little things that actually look like little compressed pieces of hay. So, it's got a little bit of brown. It's like, they dry up, they're easy to pick up and stuff. It's not like smushy poo. It's not like cat shit. It's not like dog shit.
No, they're little pellets. You could put them in a slingshot and they would make ammo. And I'm going to get back to your guys' carries. I've got Jeffrey Dawson. I'm hovering over him because we finished Ghost Keeper, but we didn't go. But yeah, man. I mean, it's been lonely without you. Have you got anything?
I'm just looking at all the haters.
Killer pictures.
Haters talking shit.
I'm not even looking at checks. I've held up on this to try to stay with the carriers. Let me get down. What Nemo's talking about meerkats.
and Mersault and his SlipJoints are more interesting than the prairie dog, not a groundhog. There are differences, but whatever.
Hey, they're
they're sweet
and cute. I mean, and that little one that just rocks on every morning and just goes. Yeah. He makes me smile. Or she. They're
super
sweet
heavy animals. So I mean, we got our first one because it was a rescue basis that someone had it and they couldn't take care of it no more. And since we had raised squirrels from pinkies, we had. It's not a huge amount of difference there. Different diet, but same idea. So we went and got that one and just fell in love with her. And so since then, and working with the lady who does the prairie dog rehabilitation / relocation stuff, she got these two for us because they needed homes. So.
Do you think that there's a chance you can bring more in?
That we can bring more in?
Yeah, like if one or two more needed a home, do y'all have the facility? Would
we just buy another? We have they sleep and stay, especially till they're a little bit older. Once they're a little bit older and they get used to shit, they just roam the house free and go in there to eat and poop. But it's almost 6 foot tall by 2 foot by 3 foot. Enclosure that we have for them, and so they stay in that most of the time, especially since I'm working so much. But yeah, we just get another one of those. It's a couple $100, like $200-$300 for one of those things, and then
you could have two more with no big deal. They wouldn't. Yeah. They'd get along fine.
Yeah, we were saying that if next year during that time again, when they start popping out babies again, if she has to do another relocation thing, that we'd take another one or two of them.
Oh, dude, that's all.
Just because.
Kind of y'all.
they're so sweet, and so yeah.
Hey, did I show you the modern Tucson that I picked up that's back in stock?
No, I've looked at that quite a few times. Honestly, I don't ever. Just because I'd rather gamble on it, I've never bought a Tucson from a retail place because I always try to get it. Like I'll look and see what they're selling them for.
Yeah, I've been trying to get these on eBay.
The auctions, since it's in China, go off at like 4 or 5 in the morning my time, or earlier. Like they hit like from 3. Yeah, like that thing I got for like 50, maybe $60 I paid for it.
I paid 88 less 10%.
Yeah.
But I got it in 2 days, which was kind of cool.
I don't like that it doesn't have it has a half stop, but the spring is so proud at the half stop.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why they just didn't change the height of the blade, so it wouldn't. Yeah, all they'd have to do is make that shorter, and then the half stop would be right.
My biggest problem is I've
Bang.
not found a way to take the clip off and get the screw to flush, or get where I can not have a clip on it and not have it look janky.
It does look janky, but it fits. It's just a little bit popping out. And yeah, I don't.
This one's so good. This one's like $80. It's
I like it.
an M390, and it's got a really strong.
Your mic. Oh, there it goes. At first, it wasn't. It was like cutting it out. But yeah, it's a cool looking thing. But I wouldn't bounce on it unless I could get it for like around $50.
Yeah, and if you
Not saying that it's not worth more than that. It's just
you can get it for less.
Yeah, you can if you're willing to wait around on it. And once it gets to a certain price point, that's like it's no longer something I'm interested for the modern knives, not modern slip joints.
I got and I know you probably won't dig this. I think G-Ball. Where'd it go?
Look at this. Look, Mersal's down here. First, he talks trash about slip joints, and then he says he's got a GEC 15 Redolin in micarta. Is it just the boy's knife, or is it a Barlow? Because I think I've seen the... and also, what kind of blade shape is it? Clip, spear, or sheep's foot?
Sounds nice. Where did I put that at?
Yeah, the 15s, I love. That's what my little gold one is. That's like an awesome... Hey, look, it's Patty. He's talking about GEC 15s, and Patty pops up.
Patty popped up. See, I knew you needed to be in here.
Where did I do with that little guy? This is the knife that Patina has claimed for when I die in the next couple of years. That Patina's
You're not going to die in the next couple of years.
It's what everyone, because I'm so old. But this is the 15, so that's, the size of that guy. But the Barlows, the TC Barlow. Oh, I love it.
Single blade. I love that.
Yeah, the little spear point. I'd love to get a sheep's foot one.
What's the material on the handle? Is it like an acrylic with glitter?
Yeah. So the thing,
looks like a Les Paul.
Yeah, it's in hand when you take it outside and shit. It's layers, so it is acrylic, but it's not just like a flat piece. Like they did a run, and I forget what the number was, and it had like a flag on it. And they had like two different versions they did like a clip point and a sheep's foot, and it had the American flag, and it said like "We the People," but it was a giant chunk of clear acrylic and then just a thin piece of paper or whatever that had the flag on it, where this is, all the way through is glitter. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not just like one layer of glitter with a big chunk of clear on top of it. It's right. All glittered up. And this is an actual like old school cover that they would use, is this glittery gold stuff. So you can find old knives that have, the glitter gold stuff on it. So
is it tool steel, or all of them pretty much made out of a tool steel of some sort?
What's that now?
Are they all made out of a tool steel of some sort?
Yeah, like these are all 90% of them are 1095, and then you have the occasional 440C. But other than that, it's always 1095. They never do, because it's once again, they're just doing things exactly how they were done. Same materials that you would have had back in the day, except for there's I forget what the name of the plastic. There was a plastic back in the day that was, it's kind of dangerous and cracks and shrinks and shit. I wish I could highlight these things. Yeah, I would love a gold.
And I have to scroll down because I'm trying to hold on their carries.
Yeah, there was a guy, I posted a picture of the my green version of the GEC thing, and granted, Case owns like the name Sodbuster now, which is kind of stupid. I don't know if it's always been that way or whatever. Yeah, celluloid. I don't know which celluloid it was if it's celluloid, or I know that stuff was made out of Bakelite, but I don't think that's dangerous. I just think that just has other issues with it. But yeah, I can't remember if it was celluloid or something else that they stopped making because of those problems. But anyways, I posted a picture of this guy on Instagram a couple days ago, and I used a hashtag Sodbuster in it somewhere, and the guy's like Sodbuster clone, and I'm like, because it's not a case knife, and I was like, well, if you're saying it's fake, that's kind of stupid because they've been making Sodbuster pattern knives since before.
And these are horrible. This is the third one I've gotten, and this is a carbon steel. I'm trying to get one that's just centered.
Oh yeah, that's almost all case knives, from what I understand. Like it's
why?
Just bad because they're
why not make them centered? It's not that hard. This is a $26 Activa or Ativa, whatever you want to call it. That's a drug.
So two different forms of being made.
I know.
That's that thing has washers and stuff on it, right?
I would think so.
I think it has some sort of washers.
But this one has washers, right?
No washers.
Just a blade, a pin, and the handles?
Yeah, well, it's got the liners too. So the liners act, I guess, kind of as the washer. But since, it's I don't really know about cases manufacturing, but if you watch what they do to center shit in the GEC videos on YouTube, they're sitting there hammering that shit together to try to that's even everything out. So it's not. I guess
none of my Bokers are centered either.
It's the dudes here.
Is that something that you have to have, or it drives you crazy?
So Jim, I guess I'm so confused as to what you still meant by clone, because so it's not a case, but see, the thing with traditional knives is everyone makes this pattern. Everyone makes a trapper. Everyone makes, a stockman. Everyone makes a muskrat. So the patterns aren't owned by anyone.
No.
The name Sodbuster was
trademarked
taken over by Case
because of lawyers.
But from what I understand from the stuff that I've seen and read about it, it's a damn German knife design, and it used to be used by butchers. Then it was brought to America, and farmers started using it, thus the term Sodbuster. That's where I'm confused as to what even, when it comes to slip joints, unless it's it's made in China and they threw the word case on there, then it's
that would be considered a clone.
Right. But this is...
But if it was a hen rooster that was a clodbuster instead of a sodbuster or something, that's just the pattern.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, they have silly names, they call it a bullnose, but it is, in fact, the same as a sodbuster. So
I like that.
And since it's GEC, it's made better than the case knives are. And there's a lot of companies out there that make, above and beyond this. This is just something, that you can get that's for the price, well made, still made in America, and not, not made crappy. Like poor Javon's gone through 3 case Sodbusters, and for the price
actually, I've got.
You could have got one of these.
The one Jim sent me, the full size, which is an older case Sodbuster. Where'd it go? It's actually really good. It's centered. I like the action on it, but it's just bigger, right?
Yeah.
And the reason I got the second one, it's about as off-center as the red one I had. I thought the red one I ordered was tool steel, and it wasn't. It was that true stainless or whatever they call it.
They make one, though, that's red in CV.
I know. And I thought I got that, but I didn't. The one I ordered off of Amazon, because I've gone to Amazon for this one and the other one. It's my immediate gratification.
There's a guy on eBay I say guy, I don't know if it's a guy, a girl, an elephant, I don't know what it is, that is selling knives that has case that you can get for a reasonable price sometimes, and you know, but it's auction, so you have to, you know, you're still getting them for a little bit less than Amazon and shit, but he also has some of the bone covered ones and some other stuff like that.
So I've noticed that, and what I've and you would probably know more so than I would, but this is a $33, maybe $37 case.
Yeah.
And then the bone patterns are like 67, 68, but I'm having a hard time finding them in the CV. Would you think that a knife of that caliber, I know they come in a different box, but are they better made? Is there anything like
I personally haven't handled any of them. I'm going to still guess from what I've heard that it's not going to be better made, other than the fact that you're getting bone handles,
better materials,
stuff, right? Michael Morgan, yes, I would guess so as well. That Ottermesser, since it's a German company, would be more authentic of someone making that pattern, just from my understanding. Ottermesser is a good knife, but once again, the thing I have with those that is that the price of their you know, sodbuster patterns is around $60 to $80, I think, somewhere, depending upon where you get it and whatnot. And once again, you can get these when they come out. I think they were like between 70 and 90, and they're just made better
in US.
The GEC, you know, these were not hard to get when they came out in 20. I think this is 21. At all. They were super easy to grab from places because they made a shit ton of this pattern.
Most a shit ton of them again. Something with a single.
Well, that's, I mean, yeah. The second this year when they made them, they did the version of it where they added the bottle opener to it, so it was like a 2-blade sodbuster, which is, you know, not really. It was just like kind of a, you know, a spin-off, because I guess I didn't want to do it so close together. So it'll probably be a year or two before they make them again. Who knows? But yeah, I'll definitely I'll make sure you're able to grab one when they come out, because
I'm definitely in for a single blade GEC. Not very picky. Sodbusters I really like. Is the GEC hollow ground too on that Skinner blade?
No. No, their stuff's all flat ground. Everything is flat ground. Is the case one hollow ground?
Mm-hmm.
I know a couple of the other variants that I have are hollow ground, like the Schrade version, the Imperial is, and the the Class or the Kissing Crane one is, and those are all hollow ground, but I didn't know if the case one was or not.
Yeah, the case is hollow ground. It's a deep hollow actually, and it's pretty slicey.
Yeah, let me see if I have. What did I do with that other version? So Jim, the other one that was, it was a they called it the Studbuster. The one that had the bottle opener that they ran last year or this year, I can't remember where it is. Oh, is it? Yeah. And so yeah, so these went up in price substantially. The ones that had the blade and then the cap lifter / you know, if you wanted to actually, I don't know who uses.
Yeah, I would think that if a Sodbuster came out from GEC now, it'd be over $100. Like the
well, this one was for sure. I can't remember what the price range was, but it got kind of steep. Like it was almost doubled what it was for the single blade one that they did last year, and they only did it in. They only, what's that?
I was going to say those handles. I was trying to compare it to the knife that just dropped and sold out so quick. That club type of knife, and I'm probably saying it wrong, but it had really nice handles, and it was $115. The one that just came and went. A couple weeks ago.
It
dropped on DLT and it dropped on traditional.
Oh, it drops everywhere. You just have to be signed up. So the one that looks like this guy right here, the one that was the clip point.
It might have been.
because just now the ones that they're doing is a spear point, is a 86 spear point, which is basically this but a different blade shape. They're doing one that's not a Barlow, and then 2 Barlow versions. So yeah, the 72. So the 72 lockback was a clip point, which is it's very similar in looks to this guy, but it's a lockback knife and a little bit smaller. But yeah, the price. Every dealer is going to have slightly different prices. They ran the gamut. The Slim Sod Buster. Okay, so Mersal, the Slim Sod Buster only exists because they had leftover, or they did something similar to this. So this knife, even though it's a double blade sod buster, is just about the same or a little bit thinner than the single bladed version because the handle slabs are so much thinner. So this is a lot thicker micarta. So during the GEC rendezvous for that, they made some knives that were based essentially this without the second blade, the thinner handle scales, and then made the thinner one. So they only made a few of those. Yes, you could only get them if you were there or if you had someone there to buy it with you. I don't think that they're going to remake it that way. And they are insane to get on the secondary. I got a Smith & Son.
Master and Plow.
Yeah, the original. So when Smith & Son was doing their stuff with GEC, it was essentially the same thing, just branded differently and maybe different handle scales. But now they're having them made by someone else, and they have a knife that's like a lockback sod buster, and in D2 blade steel, and it's like over $200, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's made by. I could be wrong, but I thought someone said it was made by Bear & Son. And I'm just like, man, that's pricey.
That is very pricey, because I've seen some that are like when I go to, I don't know if it's Knife Center, and I'll go for SlipJoints or Smoky Mountain Knives, any of them, and I'll go from highest to lowest. There's several in there that are 1,100, 1,200 that look like a Barlow. I guess they're customs.
Yeah, I mean they're so who I'm trying to remember. They've sold Pina knives on there, like Pina Customs. I don't know if it's on Smoky Mountain or who gets them. Maybe Knife Center sometimes has the custom Pina versions.
Let me see if I can join in here. Did you see the M4 Pair 2 for $138? Did you hear us talking about that?
Yeah, I'm kind of over. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, that I know it's a good deal, but at the same time,
I'm over them too.
I just don't. I don't use. First of all, I lost my Pair 3. I don't know where the hell I put that thing, but it's gone for the last couple of weeks. The little red guy I had, and the other one I have with the damned. Is it in here? Fucking Fat Carbon. Yeah, the Smoky Mountain thing. This thing is. I think about like chamfering it down myself sometimes, but I don't. Oh, the Smoky Mountain one that they did with the
Fat Carbon
lava, yeah. And that's what you're saying. It's M4, but I've only used this a couple of times. For light shit around the house, sticks, whatever, cutting the butterfly bush, and not really too much else other than that. I carried it for like a week or so after Jason Brown passed away, because I remember at some point he had said that Nora had picked out Spyderco for him. So I was carrying my Spyderco and then the Sod Buster, because he had bought 2 of the GECs from me like a year or so before he passed. So I was carrying those around for a while after he passed. And that's the only time I ever actually carried this damn thing.
It's just a little too angular.
Yeah, this one is. I mean, depending upon what you're using it for, right? Like if you're just doing basic run of the mill cutting packages or cutting tape or whatever the fuck, then obviously you're not going to really feel it.
Have you
But
heard of this maker I'm getting ready to show him? And I know it's too expensive. I just like to look at the knife and I'm wondering why. I'm sure it's the maker. Have you ever heard of them? B House.
no, I haven't. I haven't. There's so many things out there. Like what's at this point, it's like what's the handle and the steel. It probably doesn't even matter. But there's like a guy that makes shit.
Ancient Blue Mammoth is the handle.
Right on. But you can still. I mean, that's once again, that's one of those things that you can get Mammoth for cheaper.
Yeah,
So
this
it's
is my
not
corner
that.
here.
Yeah, you just have to like the maker, I guess. It's cool looking. It's a cool looking single blade, like funky trapper. I like the blade shape.
But they're
But
just a few. It's weird. They go from 3,000, 1,000, and then they drop down to. Here's some pinas. There's just some different.
Yeah, I there's so many custom makers out there that do amazing shit for like half that price that I don't see, like, unless you just got money to toss around.
Where do you find those? I mean, are there certain sites that you go to, or would you just go to a show and look up that maker?
So one of the places, and we talked about it. I think it's Frank's. I'm trying to remember if it's Frank's Cutlery or Frank's something, whatever the fuck it is.
I'm Googling it.
I just happened to catch that about me fucking up his brain.
Frank's Traditional Knives.
It is Frank's Classic Knives. So Frank's Classic Knives has a maker that they always post on here that I followed. Todd Davison, I think is what it is.
T.A. Davidson.
Yeah, T.A. Davison. So if you look at those, like right there, those are all custom, handmade by some dude, and some of them are 1,000, but some of them are like 500. They all look like super nice, clean made knives. There's a guy I follow on Instagram. I think his name is Mike Moore. And when he first started off doing stuff, his prices were a little bit less, but they're a little bit higher now. But he can do all kinds of crazy shit, and it looks super clean. And his knives sell out fast as shit. But he's like, it's one at a time, so you might see like one pop up every week or two. But there's some beautiful stuff if you go to Mike Moore.
Is he one of the makers? Would he be on Frank's too?
No. He's just himself on Instagram. Where the hell? Oh, there it is.
Instagram, Mike Moore.
Yeah. It says, let's see here. His thing is Mike Moore Knives. Moran. Moran.
Oh, Moran.
Yeah. Some beautiful shit. And he does some that have a coffin shield. And I have to say, I kind of like that a lot.
Oh, he's got a website too.
Yeah. And you can get on his mailing list. And for a while, what he was doing is he would tell you when he was like, all right, I'm going to do this pattern. And if you want to jump on, they're going to be this much money. And you can get, into the list, and X amount of people will be able to buy one. But I haven't seen him do that in a while. And now it's just like, oh, I made this knife. It's however much money. And then it sells out like instantly. But yeah, like I wanted to get one of those with a sheep's foot and the cap lifter, because I just love that combo. And he's done a few of those.
These are beautiful knives. I mean, they look very understated and elegant.
But I mean, if you go down, there's like some stuff with like some more funky handle materials and shit like that.
And that's the traditional being put together the right way.
So yeah. Those don't even lock. Oh, God.
Look at that, though, how he centers them up. And then I guess...
Yeah, but I mean, once you start actually pinning that together, it changes a little bit sometimes, So you have to... It's a constant battle with that shit.
Yeah, because you're
Um,
hammering the material, the handle material on,
yeah,
which is going to move that blade.
but yeah, some of that guy's stuff looks really awesome.
Yeah, very,
Uh,
very nice stuff.
so there's all kinds of. I mean, there's a bunch of people like that I follow on Instagram. You just find one and just keep going, bouncing around, and you'll end up heading down a rabbit hole of
Down a rabbit
stuff,
hole. I say the
stuff
exact
that
same thing.
you turn your pour real quick. Um,
I've still got
yeah,
to find a traditional knife storage solution. I kept thinking if I gave away enough knives, I'd have an Apache 3800 case that I could use, but I really need something more like a cabinet. It seems like for
uh,
traditional.
they have at Harbor Freight this like box with
Yeah,
a bunch of shelves,
the
and it's
toolbox.
lined. It's a wooden one, and it's got like a little green felt or something, drawers. I think that's the one that it looks like the one that Patty has that he showed on his channel
Like
before.
80,
You could
I've,
get that, yeah, and
I've
you
looked
could
at
lay them
that.
all in there.
That would be
Um,
a good way to go.
yeah, it just depends upon how much where it starts going.
Well, some
I
of them
use a
have
filing
more.
cabinet if I ever actually put stuff away.
Yeah, most
Filing
of it
cabinet.
just lives out here in my little studio slash dining room.
But yeah, there's all kinds of, and then like if you can get a hold of like Ashley Harrison, the guy that made the Barlow that I've shown, and that Patty's shown a lot of his knives. Those are very reasonably priced for a made by one dude in England, or him and his dad kind of scenario. And it was like under $100 shipped from England, and that's
I've
pretty
seen
nice.
I've seen Patty talk about those, I believe.
I have one of those too.
Macerin?
Yeah, I got the wood one that I think they're out of stock now. Let's see if I can find it in here.
Mark Herrera was bringing that up.
It's a decent knife. What the hell did I do with it? Here it is. So yeah, I have the little wooden one. It's not my favorite, but it's not my least favorite either. So it's kind of weak spring wise, not terrible. But what I don't like, and is what I like the least, is the blade shape. I like the top better for a side buster, which is a lot more quick.
Skinner like,
Yeah,
not as clipped.
not as much of a point. It comes to a very acute point. But depending upon what you're looking for, um, you know, other than that, it's made decent enough. It's not perfect, and the wood on this one's real pretty looking. And then once again,
it's rich.
it's modern construction, so it's all like T8, T6 and shit on there.
I got a modern.
I prefer this shape so much better.
But I know it's not your jam. Where did I put it? This pocket?
That's awesome, Twang Thang. You should be beating down that guy's door trying to get a knife. He makes some amazing shit. But I had talked to him before, before it got too crazy, and I forget what his prices were, but it went up like over $100 within a year. And I mean, he looks like very well made stuff. So, but yeah, this is it's not a bad knife for the price. It is Italian D2, so I don't know. I know lots of people hate on that shit.
A blade.
Going back, we can do this.
That I had in my pocket. Oh well, it'll turn up. But I picked up one of the Viper Hugs. This is the Viper Twin.
Yeah.
Picked up in my car to hug, but I lost it in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's a knife that I looked at and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool looking, but I don't know. It's just
definitely modern.
Yeah, and I'm not against that. It's just at the price point, I don't know if I don't know.
Yeah, and the
I'm not
microphone.
saying it's not worth the price. It's just,
I
uh,
wonder what the fuck
just
I did with it.
not my thing. There also Boker made one that was pretty cool. The Boker Boxer.
Yes.
Those are pretty badass. And once again though, the price, it was all my Carta ones I liked. Like they did it all black with a black acid wash. I think I can't remember if it was an M390 or if it was 01, if it was a tool steel as well. But to me, it's like for that price, I'd rather just get a regular traditional instead of
A modern.
yeah. That's just me though. I
Well,
like things that look old.
yeah. I mean, I think if you want to get and collect traditional knives, you should collect traditional knives. I think
I,
it makes sense
Lots
in
of
a
people love
way.
those. I mean, for a lot of people, it's like the gateway into, at least, giving a slip joint a try or whatever. I'm not against it. And I do have, like, like I said, I have these cheaper ones, like the little real steel ones and shit. And they're definitely, serve a great purpose. It's super thin, little slicey, super lightweight. So if you want a really lightweight, knife for whatever, like, some people only want to carry something that weighs X amount of ounces when they go hiking and shit like that. These are a great option for that kind of shit if you're that person.
The ratios work.
Yeah,
I took that
and it's
freaking knife out, and I did the carry when I started, and then I set it down somewhere, and I'll be damned if it has not just disappeared.
I got it because this was a Knife Tube podcast exclusive that they did, and I think they said they only had them make 100 of them for them in this color combo or some shit. So I was like, exclusive knife, $30. I can get it.
Oh well. I picked up one of these, a 20 CV variant, frame lock,
Yeah,
hologram.
yeah. That. I mean, I like it. I haven't actually handled one, but of his knives that he's made, I like it more so than any of the newer things he's made.
Yeah, I like it more too. It's got it's deep hollow. It's got like a little ting sound, and it's very light. It's a lot lighter than the one that came with G10 scales and has steel liners that I put titanium scales on. This
Yeah.
weighs like an ounce and a half more, where this one's hollowed out, frame lock.
I just want to. So yeah, Ed, if you like the Jack Wolf's knives, and they sell out relatively quick, kind of sometimes, but not in comparison to other things. And if that's what got you into slip joints and you like that style, then that's by all means. I wish the price was about $100 less, but that's just me. Um, and also, Dopey, if you're talking about the Case Trapper, and I'm not sure that you are, that you showed me a picture of, I would give something else with a half stop, because maybe the half stop will make you like it more, because that's something that you can play with and snap around. And if you have something with a decent half stop and it makes a cool sound that you can sit there and play with, it makes it a lot funner. And especially if it was something like this guy, where you can actually just kind of sit there and play with it and not cut yourself, then it is somewhat fidgety.
They're very fidgety if they've got a half stop. I say the
Yeah.
half stop makes all the difference in their fidgeability.
No, I wasn't going to do a Jack Wolf rant. I think that everyone knows my feelings on that. Once again, it's not that it's, to me, it's just the price for it is a little bit high. That's it.
And I will agree with that. But I have enjoyed it. And I haven't gone down the rabbit hole, and I think it's because I haven't been able to because they're cost prohibitive.
Yeah, and also like you know, Craig just said the Ohio River Jack. So you know, similar materials, way cheaper. Granted, it's different style of knife. Um, I cut myself a lot with slip joints, only when I'm playing with them, either on a live stream or while watching TV and not looking at myself. And that's when I end up, you know, closing it on my finger and not paying attention or something stupid. So
Not
you
gonna
can do
put
it,
a,
but I also have closed a modern knife on my finger a million times while watching TV or some shit, not paying attention. So it's, you know,
yeah, I've cut my finger just because I've flicked a lot more modern knives than I have slip joints. But I did when I first got my first couple of slip joints. I did cut myself a couple of times, and that's just going to drive me batshit crazy until I find that knife. I won't be able to focus. My brain will go all squirrely on y'all.
dude, if I went squirrely every time I lost something,
What was weird about it is I literally just had it. Like I
yeah,
just saved it on my
I'm
phone, and
constantly
I
losing shit on my desk. My at this point, I'm gonna move everything in this area and put a bookshelf over here and some other storage things, so that way I don't have as much trouble with that kind of stuff. Because right now it's ridiculous.
yeah, mine's out of control for sure. I mean, if I had an overhead camera, it would look like a knife store threw up in here.
Oh yeah, my right now too, because I have a computer, my laptop sitting here with my keyboard for my desktop sitting on top of it because I've been switching back and forth, and I'll, you know, sitting here flipping open my laptop screen and then folding it back down and sending stuff to my other computer. It looks fucking
Moving it
ridiculous.
back and forth,
What's that?
moving it from one computer to the other one.
Yeah, just because of programs that I have on one and didn't put them on the other one yet.
Hey man, we gotta work with what we've got.
Yes, my desk is a mishmash of too many hard drives and knives just thrown everywhere. But you know, got to
Hey,
have something to fidget with while you're working sometimes.
and I will find my box at some point. I'm sure it's stuck somewhere.
But yeah, I also Patina said something about I love uh, the Victorinox, the Sachs Swiss Army knives, and other things that are similar to Swiss Army knives. Um, I have a little budget one that's, I mean, the build quality is so shit on it, but I just love that knife so much.
Swiss Army knife.
It's not made by Swiss Army Knife. No, it's some other company that I don't even Belladio. It's some like cheap. They're Chinese made, I think, but it has like wood scales on it, and it's got a bird's eye pivot on one side, and it's got, you know, a bunch of crazy tools. And it looks like it was made a long time ago, just because of the, you know, way it was made, and everything on it's useful. I mean, it works. So it's not, you know, the best blade steel by any means. It probably gets dull really fast, but you know, you can strop it up, and it's
Or get that little Victorinox sharpener that Patty turned me on to.
Yeah, for sure. I end up a lot of times, you know, I just have like a pen case sitting beside me with a piece of leather on it that you can just use that, you know what I mean? No compound, no nothing, and it works good enough to get it back if I'm too lazy to grab the other one. Or like you said, I have that sharpener sitting here in my pen thing. That little
Yeah, I love that little thing. I've gotten one that, and it's not that hard to find the angle on it. And the other thing I've used for my Bokers that came with no edges, I don't know why, was my little field sharpener, my Work Sharp field sharpener. Just the real.
Oh yeah, I
smooth.
have. I need to grab one of those. I haven't messed with one of those yet to see how they are.
They're great. The rough side you wouldn't really use on your slip joints, but the smooth diamond side's perfect. Perfect.
but yeah, and then where is it at? I don't know. I switch up stuff too so often that no one particular thing ever gets used that frequently. Um, like sometimes this little brother's, I think, a great for the price. You can't go wrong. I've talked about this guy a lot. It's super light, lock back for all those people that are concerned with that. Look at that. Drops down, close it with one hand. You can open it with one hand.
It's a good looking knife too. I think the profile looks nice on it.
Yeah, it's an awesome little, well, I say little, it's actually quite a large knife compared to a lot of stuff.
And I've got the, I gifted one away, but I've got the Warncliffe non-locking.
It's got just as much blade as the Para 2, PM2.
That's impressive.
And it feels more comfortable in hand than that one does. So
I'm getting Amazon tonight. Yeah, I picked up a couple of. Probably give one of them away tonight.
The only thing I wish they would have done is not used blue on it with the green one or the black one. They've done knives with black and red liners, and I liked the way that looked. But on these ones, they used blue for both of the colorways, and I just wish they would have done something else.
For the liner?
Yeah. I'm not a blue fan at all. I have no blue knives.
No, come to think of it, blue is probably I had a Gemini. Was it a Kaiser Gemini that had blue scales that I gave away one night?
I've only had two, and I traded one and traded both of them away.
I picked up this little package ripper from it's a neck knife from Amazon. It's got a great little sheath, little G10 handle. And then I picked up this guy. It's got a more rattly sheath, but a little longer handle. And they're both 8CR, MOV or whatever. But for jabbing in somebody's eye and opening a package, I think they'll both work good.
Josh, I might it someday. Because I don't, like I said, I wanted to love it just because the red bat carbon lava, whatever the fuck they call this version. But, I have only one lion steel, and that is the what the fuck is that knife called?
Do you have one of the SlipJoints, like the Best Man?
No, I don't. The only ones I ever wanted were the ones that Collector Knives did themselves as a release, but all I have is a Lion Steel SR1, which is like 10 plus years old or what the fuck ever. It's that one that is fuck, what is it called? Like a aluminum.
Does it have a clip that automatically goes in or something?
No. That was like a more recent one. The fucking it's like a all one piece
integral
handle. Yeah, it's the integral handle. It was like one of the first ones, I think, that was like a big thing you could get, and that's why it was like so popular back in the day or some shit. It's a nice looking knife and stuff, but I don't really carry it. Really, I just wanted it because I always wanted one, and they used to be, I didn't want to spend $200+ or whatever the fuck they went for when they first came out. Be shady. I had the Crewwear, the Crew Carta. I bought it, and then I hated it. That my version was so crappy. But yeah, this is the only one.
Oh yeah, that one.
Giant D2 blade. This little roto thing here is constantly like, rotating, so it's like getting locked on me. But whatever.
It's a beefy knife.
I mean, it's a nice big chunk. The guy who I got a custom fixed blade from years ago, he had posted that he had got it, and he was like, "Oh, I love this knife." So I was like, "That looks awesome. I want to try one." And I finally got it. But yeah, my microcarder was shot so bad that I ended up parting it out so someone else could use the scales or the frame on it, and I just have a blade.
Send somebody my Mannix 2 liners. They sent me a message, and I've also there's two things that I've got to send out to help people out. I better go back through my DMs. But I think we're gonna get this away later, guys, in just a little while.
Nice
neck knife. It comes with a case, and it comes with a chain, and it's good for cutting boxes and saving Slurpees.
Yeah, see, that's a good deal. I paid $200 for my this guy when he came out.
$139.99. We were looking at that earlier. That's a heck of a deal.
Yeah. But honestly, if it's slabbed up like this, I'd go with something else, unless you just like the look of it. Because those scales are fucking like, I don't know, like when you squeeze it, you can feel it digging into you.
Because it's so angular.
Yeah, whereas the G10 ones don't feel like that. They're chamfered better. This, you can just feel it kind of in your hand for sure. Yeah, it's just not that comfortable. I don't know. Like, is it gonna like cut you? No, but there's so many things that are more comfortable for the price.
Right.
And that Spyderco probably makes. So it's like, it looks cool, but if they would have chamfered it up like Flytanium and shit does on their scales, it would have looked so much better.
And would have just taken a little bit of work, just a little sanding.
Yeah, something. I mean, they probably use a fucking CNC machine to do all the crazy stuff like on their ones, like on my Benchmade that I have, but whatever. That all being said, I has got to get back to work, kids. It was nice chatting with you, but I have to get some jobs in.
Get caught up so you can get back in the helm next week. I know you will.
We'll see what happens.
I'll see you on Friday when you can come join me.
Right on, man. Yeah, I'll more than likely you are going to be doing it.
You just let me know, my man.
Just one last thing. To lessen a pull on a slip joint, and it's chancy, because I've only had 2 slip joints break on me. I've never, and it wasn't because of this, but it is something that can happen. But I have been doing it lately with a Shatton Morgan that I have floating around somewhere. You basically just leave it cocked at like a 3/4 open position, and that will lessen the thing. So you just leave it, you open it, and then you just leave it like this, and then you see the springs popping out there at the bottom, and then you just leave it sit like that for a while, and it'll stretch it out. Or you can just open it and close it like 5 million fucking times. Patty, I like friction folders. The only one I have, we spoke about this previously, was the Svord, the Svord peasant knife, which I think is a great knife. And you can get them for like $20. It's carbon steel. It's got it looks like a chili pepper. I got the red one. It's a rather large knife, but yeah, it's you hold down, there's like a little piece sticking out, and you holding it keeps the blade from closing on you. So it's like in between a locking knife. It's not a slip joint. You can lessen, it's got a little screw on the pivot so you can change how much. It looks like it's got a giant flipper tab, but it's so big that you can't really like flip it out. You can one hand roll it, but
that's what you hold with your finger to keep it locked.
Yeah, you hold it, and then it keeps the blade locked. So yeah, it's awesome. For that. And those blades, like you can baton with that knife. You can just hold the little metal part and then use it to baton through, as big of a piece of wood as you can get it through, and you don't have to worry about it. So it's You know, they're tough little blades there, and the price is amazing. Um, for fit and finish, you know, it's $20. You might have to sand the plastic down, or the wood one, especially, from what I understand. But I like the plasticky, rubbery, bright red one, and it comes in like a million colors. So definitely, if you're, you know, want something really odd as a a knife to take, you know, camping or whatever with you, that's one to go for. Oh, this
Don't
is
deny yourself.
this guy right here. The pull on this thing is insane to open. So I've been leaving it on my desk for like a couple days now, trying to get this thing to not be such a fucking nail biter. But
Is it getting any looser? Can you tell?
not much, not much at all. I'd like it to, because I really love this little knife. But it's that thing comes down, and when you accident it fucking feels like
Guillotine.
it's gonna, yeah, it seems like it's gonna take your finger off. All right. Woo. You
Hang
guys
in
have
there,
a good
brother.
evening.
Keep your head up. Night, brother. All right, guys. We're going to do a giveaway in a sec, but first I'm going to knock out the rest of these carries if I can. Jeffrey carried the S90V Pair 3, S30V Mannix, both with AWT scales. And then David carried the Petrified Fish and the Bridgeport 395 V2. And then Demonite kept it light with just the PM2 with a Kind Coonley edge. Plenty of carry. Josh Branson carried a certain Damascus button lock Elementum. I'm awesome. That is awesome, brother. Lord Needham carried a Rosie, Jaeger, Maverick, and the Feel Good. Nice, my friend. Channel members, both Joe Isabella carried the Tucson TS16, then switched to the 6-sleeve SLO4 when it arrived, along with the TS150 and a Case Trapper. Very nice. Very nice. And then T-Fetch, Swiss Tools Spirit X, Ground Fog, carried the Ambush, the Griptilian, the SD Classic, which I've got to get, and various non-blade items. And then my man Dopey carried the Elementum Mini, the Fixed, and Desert Warrior. Boker Klishnikov XXL Desert Warrior, and Boker Joker in both sizes. Tucson TS21 with Sprinkle Anno, an Effenbro EF902. Tempest Pinion with the Acid Wash Blade, and a Ty Kaiser Beg Lighter. And the Civivi Circulus, Kaiser Elgon, Bostede Mini Barber, Ritter Hogue Folder, and Fixie Mini Pry Bar, 4 Forest Hanks, 3 Hill Hanks, 2 CDC Donut coins, and a lighter and a wallet. My brother from another mother, and I know he carried that. And then Bama Ninja carried his Plethoros, PM2, minimalist cleaver blade around the neck. Hey, buddy, you won that thing fair and square. And somebody in the chat's going to win this little knife tonight, and then we'll do some more stuff Friday. Captain Craig carried the Simcut Serene, slicey little dicey. Aaron's having one of those reality checks like I have every week. Let's see. I think I caught everybody up. Let me get down there. Autumn Wind, the Picaroon Tools Multi-Near, and a JK V4 today. Very nice. Very nice. Marisol, thank you for that again, brother. All right, let's win something. Let's see where I've got to go here. I got way behind there. All right, if I missed you guys, I'm going to try to scroll it to the bottom. And if I missed you, throw it back up there, and I apologize. But I want y'all to win something. And then I'll put up a video for just you guys, and then a video for members. We'll do a couple of giveaways Friday night, and then we'll do just a general giveaway. But I've got a couple of cool things in mind. Let's see. Guys, I apologize that I missed all y'all's chat. The XOM from Lefty, Be Shady, that is sweet. Did you get the one with the Damascus? Well, not Damascus, what was it? Zarkuti? Bama Ninja got a PM2 with camo G10, S45 for 129. What a deal. Louis had a Sharp by Designs Typhoon with blue fat carbon fiber inlays. And Andrew carried his Hinder Eclipse Swedge Spear and a half-track warning. I've got the half-track warning and love it. Let's see. I'm trying to scroll. Anybody seen a relative clip point for sale? I want to check one out. It's the Ronins that are for sale. I guess was there one on NAF sale? I think there was one on NAF sale. Let's do this. Let's find a. Let's do. All right, guys, you don't have to put a hashtag. You don't have to put any capital letters. Nothing fancy. Just throw up some pocket metal love in the chat, and we will give away that little guy. See what else we got. And I'll find a little bonus something. I'll throw a little something else in there. I don't know what yet. Chris, channel member, good to see you. Ed Harrison, channel member, good to see you. Yeah, all you guys throw pocket metal in there. Let me go find something else while y'all do that. Right. This is not going to go out tomorrow. This will go out probably Friday when the next one goes out, but we'll also make this part of the giveaway. This is the little Rough Rider Aptiva that G Bizzle told me about. It's a great knife. So that's the giveaway tonight. Let's see how many of y'all have entered. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. So this knife I've been very impressed with. I just got to do a review on it. BG10, great first slip joint or a slip joint for somebody. And then this is a great little knife, even though it's 8CR for a box opener. Let me share my screen again. Let's see how many we got. 41. 16 here and 41, so we're pretty close. So guys, throw pocket metal in there. I'll give you all about, I don't know, we'll say time for me to get my pen. Whoops. And time for me to get my little pad of paper. So we'll call this Metal Mondays. Rough Rider. And the Nook Pixie. All right, guys, put in pocket metal. I'm getting ready to draw for it. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now, before I draw, you need to have been chatting in here. We need to know who you are, so everybody's going to get to vote. So if you have been in here and you've entered, hopefully you've chatted. So here we go. Let's see who it is. Let's see who it is. Look at Lucky Bama Ninja. Timmy, my brother from another mother. You are as lucky as they come, brother. Congratulations. Congratulations, Bama. I've been loving your videos too. This will give you some content. Nice win, brother. I'm going to put my Gmail in here, even though I think I've got your address. You can email me just to remind me. And then I can probably shoot the review. I can probably get it out tomorrow, in all truth. So I've done a review on the little one. I just haven't done a review on this one yet. But I've got the original box because it just came in. So those are both brand new knives, buddy. Congratulations. And like I said, guys, keep coming to these lives. And Friday night we'll do something in a video. We'll do something for channel members in a video, and then we'll do just a regular giveaway. So there'll be 3 chances, and everybody will win. I promise that. Everybody will get a chance to win. Just keep coming back. When you guys are in here, just chat with each other, make friends. That's what it's all about. And I'm gonna have to bounce because I've got to go to Gadsden, Alabama tomorrow and travel the rest of the week. It's gonna be kind of nuts. But I'm going to be stoked to survive Friday night. Friday night, we're going to have a blast. I will get some videos up with some giveaways. Thank you guys for coming out, supporting Pocket Metal and me, and hanging out for Metal Mondays. Please, if you remember, look out for the guy or gal to your left. Look out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. Choose debate, not hate. I love you all.